feeble ruse. Your crocodile tears may poison her with doubt, but I am not so easy a mark.
I spared Grace because she didn't do anything wrong. You, on the other hand, are crazy. A little bit make them...
Just take that override key and slot it into the control box in the ticket booth there. That'll open the gates.
Sure. Okay. So we're taking out key and we're slotting it into this. And we may get ambushed. I guess not. Huh, okay, we're not getting ambushed.
Hop on, kid, and start the train. Don't make me pull the whistle now.
Pull the whistle as much as you like. I don't really care. Ammo, which I don't need. Okay, there's nothing back here. Well, I guess that's it for Pauper's Drop. That was interesting. I need to stop forgetting to do the research on the Big Daddies and Big Sisters and all that. Alright, before we leave... Oh man, this is gonna be complicated. So the map looks like that. I think... Well, I don't know about you guys, but me having played through that, that's fairly familiar by now. Anyway, that's a train station. Entryway. And then there's this thing. There's a diner here. So there's a diner and then around, or what do you call it? Like a circular kind of pathway around that. And then there's the Gatherer's Garden, staircases down, another corridor, and then the town square. Huh, that's interesting, they call it the town square. So there's a few shops around here. Town square, quotation marks. And then there's the glass tunnels. That's the limbo room. Down here, they call it the market. Well, there were a few shops down here. If you remember what is it? There's the steam barnacles, and then a few of those stalls were down here, so that's the market. Limbo room is down there. And then Sinclair Deluxe Tenements, they call it, the apartment building. So there's the central atrium here, and strangely... How did we go through this again? I don't remember. I think we just walked straight in. And then there were these side rooms, and then you go up, and then there were more rooms. And then Grace was here, I believe. Which is a bit strange. Like, that doesn't really look like an apartment building, does it? And if you remember, like, a few of these rooms like didn't have bedrooms or like didn't have a kitchen or whatever, so they're not full apartments, but they're vaguely resembling an apartment building, I guess. Something that appears kind of like a room. So there's obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 major spaces, and in fact these are not really that major, they're quite small. That's moderately sized. The apartments could almost be a level by itself, the size of it is so big. But they've included it here. I mean, there's not even a Big Daddy or Little Sister in there neither, so it seems a little bit out of place. I mean, I guess it all fits into the story and all that, but you know, these three definitely belong together. Like the environments look similar, and I guess there are 3 parts of the city. There's like a diner, a town square, and a market. So this whole place is like a small town in itself. Well, I guess that's the residential area for this little town, if you can call it that. And there's a lot of looping paths here. There's a diner, a small loop here. The town square, you can't see it on the map, or you can see it here. So there's a town square, and then there's this surrounding stuff, kind of a loop, but it doesn't quite link up there. And then in the market, there's another loop. Well, there's a loop downstairs. There's like a tunnel here, and then the limbo room, and then the market. And then upstairs, there's like another loop here. And then there's the apartments is less open, I guess. This was a lot more directional. If you remember, like we followed the path in through the apartments, upstairs, through more apartments, into Grace's safe room, and then walked back out. So the whole thing was just one path. And we never went back there. So I guess we have basically two types of spaces. We have the open areas where you have respawning splices, and we kind of walk back and forth that a lot, chasing down Big Daddies, chasing down splices to research and all that. And then we have this, which is a more linear arrangement. So this is kind of the open world, if you can call it that, as much as open world as there is in Bioshock 2. And then there's this kind of very linear story sequence where you kind of fight your way into Grace's safe room. In fact, this is kind of similar to the previous level, Ryan Amusements. If you remember, there was it's obviously more complicated than that level, but there were two parts to that level as well in the Ryan Amusements. There was the central area and then the three side areas, which I guess if you want to run around and fight splicers, you can do that. And then there was the actual amusement ride, which was a linear path again. So again, there's like these open areas, or rather these kind of non-linear rooms. There's three of them there, and there's three of them here as well. And then there's the highly linear story part. So there's kind of two basic types of spaces here we're encountering in this game, and it'll be interesting to see how this develops in later levels. And the pulpits drop again. Like, the complexity of this level is significantly higher than the previous level, which was again, in the last level was also a lot more complex than the first level. So we're getting, we're ramping up the complexity quite a bit as we go. I mean, at the very beginning of the game, you might remember me saying that, it seems disappointing, that it seems like the game is just rehashing old ideas and doing it not very well, but we can see that as soon as we get past the tutorial stuff, things are getting a lot more complicated, a lot, very quickly. So, this is very interesting. And obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious, but dividing your level into kind of these areas like this, it helps you with your design, because it keeps things simple. Like, you can design each of these things separately almost, but it also makes it easier for the player as well. As they move from one area to the next, you can remember these spaces more clearly, because that is isolated from that, and it's isolated from that, so the paths between them are fairly simple, so it's quite easy for the player to navigate, because they can remember specific landmarks, and then they can remember what's going on in that space. So in a way, there's a lot of spaces, a lot of rooms, a lot of corridors, but in another way, it's divided into these four parts, so that it's quite easy for you to, figure them out. And before we leave, let's just check that. Big Daddies? Okay, I'll save the game here. I might actually try to research more Big Daddies off screen. I don't know how well that will go, so I'll save the game and see what happens. I think I'll just keep running out of ammo. But if we can research all the Big Daddies, then obviously that's going to be a big advantage to us in later levels. So I'll try that, and I'll tell you whether I'm successful or not in the next video. So I'll try running around this level, killing Big Daddies and researching them. And if it doesn't work out well, then we'll just scrap that. Big Sisters, I don't know how many Big Sisters we're going to encounter, but actually this stuff is actually not the most important stuff. Hopefully we can max out the research later on, but there's a limited number of Big Sisters in the game, I think. And so I'm gonna have to try and research all of them. Brute Splicers, they're not responding in this level. Armored Shell 2 is going to be useful. Security and Leadhead and Thuggish, they're complete. Alright. So I'll save the game here. Actually, let's do that right now. But I'll also go on the train and I'll end the segment at the beginning of the next level. I'll cut out the loading screen because there's usually copyrighted music in the loading screens, which of course is problematic for YouTube. Okay, so this next level is Siren Alley.
Hear me, O ye who would murder the Lamb of God! Ye shall never reach her God!
Wow. We got a torpedo to the face. Okay, so there's a Father Whales. Or something. And he's got this strange religious thing going on, and we got torpedoed in the face. Are we gonna...
Kid, come on, wake up now. There you are. I thought you rode that torpedo into the great hereafter. I'm in Dionysus Park now. Train cars are shambles, leaking air. Whole damn place is flooded and sealed. But there's a pumping station back there in Siren Alley, and I believe you could jerry-rig it to drain the park out. That'd let you stroll right inside. Get to those pumps, and hurry.
Okay, I thought we were going to Dionysus Park, but I guess we are actually going back to Siren Alley to operate some pumps, but that's gonna be for the next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying it. I'm certainly quite interested in the architecture so far. Well, not really the architecture in the sense of what you can see, but in the level designs and layouts and all that. I think that's more interesting. The artwork is almost, you're used to it by now. It's Bioshock. It's Art Deco, it's underwater, okay. Maybe that's a little too dismissive. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, hey guys, I guess I'll add this in. I've finished researching all the Big Daddies. So the acquired tonic is Arms Race. Tired of constantly scrounging for ammo, Arms Race helps you find those extra rounds you'd otherwise miss. You're able to salvage more ammunition from bodies and containers. That seems like the most useless thing I've ever seen. I can't believe I spent so much time researching just for that. Maybe that'll be useful later. Anyway, I'll store in Gene Bank. So I'll show you what I've been basically doing. Basically, I've just been meleeing the Big Daddies with the drill. And you might think to yourself, well, this sounds terrible, you must be dying a lot. And yeah, I die a lot. But you know, the Vita-Chambers just bring you back to life without any problems. And so, I die, go back to the Vita-Chamber, and I'm fine. And then I go back to the Big Daddy and I punch him again, basically. I know it's cheap, it's really cheap, but it works. And I got the research. I don't know. I mean, it was the right idea to not record this because it took me quite a long time and it's quite boring as well. Well, since we're here, let's... Yeah, so basically this happens, and then I go back to the Vita-Chamber, and I keep doing that until we're finished. Oh, one good thing is there's a fuel station here as well, so that there's oil for the drill, which is quite good. What else? There's apparently a shop back there selling armor-piercing rounds, so you can see I've gotten myself quite a bit of armor piercing. In fact, I might buy a bit more before I leave this place. Same thing with heavy rivets and trap rivets. So yeah, basically just grinding through the level. I guess that's not good in terms of gameplay, like grinding is never fun, right? But I guess we're on hard difficulty and it works. And there we go. So we get first aid kits from him, money from him, and yeah, so we just buy ammo and then we're done. I won't record that, I'll just buy the ammo and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Back where we were, which was, what was it called? Sirens something. Alright, I'll see you there.